When you change the focal length of your lens, either by zooming in and out or perhaps by putting on a short wide angle lens, not only are you changing the magnification, that's what makes far off things come closer, you're changing three other things as well. You're going to have an impact on perspective, depth of field, and field of view. Field of view is like how much you can get into the picture. To explain this, Jane and I have spared no expense in building our specially patented field of view demonstrating engine. All of this has been made using the finest quality garden shed materials. Let me just put these lenses down here so I can show you what I mean. Now, you imagine these silver painted drain rods, beautiful that they are, at the barrel of the lens. This is kind of what you're going to see through your lens. And this bit here, the bicycle wheel, is the glass at the end. If I have a wide angle lens, a short focal length, that's this distance here is short, I've got a very wide field of view. As I look along these rods, what I can see pans out all the way across over there to the sun and the hill, and all the way out to the hills over there. It's a very wide field of view. If I zoom the lens by increasing this bit, the focal length, what happens is it draws in the field of view. You see how these rods are getting closer and narrower? Because of this, I think we should call long lenses narrow lenses, but we don't, unfortunately. We're stuck with what we've got. How does this impact real life? Let's go and have a look at this through a camera. Beginning with a wide angle lens and the wide field of view, we're going to use this rock here, this stone, as the anchor point for this little film. Now, as you can see, it's set roughly on the left hand side third, filling the frame. Over this side of the picture, you've got those bushes along the side of the road there, and over here on the other side you can just see there's a little standing stone over there, and then the brown field on beyond going all the way to the horizon. If you wanted to get the same shot of this stone but without all that going on either side, you'd need to narrow the field of view, and you do that by using a longer lens. With a long lens, the first thing you probably notice is there seems to be more stones in this shot. That's a perspective thing. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Just ignore it. Think about the field of view, this business. Remember the bushes over on that side of the road? They've all gone now, haven't they? And the edge of the picture on this side are the bushes way up on the top of the hill there. Similarly, on the other side of the stone, the brown field where the frame did end, that's now disappeared, hasn't it? We've excluded that, and it's edging on the green field down the other side of the stone here. Yet our friend the stone is the same size in this shot as it was in the wide angle shot. It's occupying the same space in the frame. Now, because of the magnification aspect, Janie's had to move back with the camera in order for it to fit, but it's in the same place, and we've excluded stuff down either side. The other characteristic of the wide lens is perspective. It stretches things out, it moves them further apart. So something that's close to the lens will seem quite large and pull towards it. Stuff that's further away will seem tiny. See these rocks up behind here? They look really tiny and like they're a huge distance away. They're not. Let's pace it out. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 paces. That's all it is from where you are to this rock here, but it looks really, really tiny, like it's off into the distance. That's because the short lens, that expands perspective. Let's take a quick look at it with a longer lens, the same shot, keeping this stone the same size in the picture. Now, we mentioned there seem to be a lot more stones in this shot. There are no more stones in this shot than there were a moment ago. What has happened is the magnification part has compressed perspective. Long lenses flatten things together. They draw stuff that's a long way away and they bring it forward, and they kind of stack them bomb, 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 bomb like that, one behind the other. And that's what's going on at the moment. The rock behind this one, the stone behind this one, is still only 21 paces away from where I am. It hasn't changed at all, despite the fact it looks considerably closer. That's about perspective stacking. That's how you get those shots of mountain ranges going off into the distance and coming together. Only we've done it with a bunch of standing stones. Short lenses, that's wide lenses with all their wide field of view, they also have a massive depth of field. Depth of field is how deep the focus of your shot is, how much you've got sharp, go from in front of the camera off into the distance. Now just now when I walked back over there to where that cow is now playing around with our rock, I was sharp all the way, wasn't I? From here back to there. And as I come towards you now, I'm still sharp up to about here. That means that depth of focus with a short wide lens stretches from what, 3-4 feet in front of the camera, in this case Jane's video, all the way to the horizon. That is an immense amount of depth of field. The final part of this puzzle is the long lens and depth of focus. Now depth of focus, depth of field, it's the same thing. Now as I'm walking towards you, I am slowly shifting myself out of focus. The camera is focused on the stone I was standing next to, and as I'm coming forward, slow, I'm getting myself more and more soft in your viewfinder. In a moment, to when I get about 5 or 6 feet in front of the camera, I'll be very soft indeed. I reckon I look positively drunk by now. Now then, if Janie just refocuses the camera on me so that I come sharp, there we go, that's better, isn't it? I'm nice and sharp, but look, any stones that are behind me, Janie's probably going to have to pan for that. Look, they've gone completely soft. If I move towards the camera, if you remember with the short lens, I could come all the way up to 3 feet and I was still nice and sharp. But look, if I start walking towards you now, I reckon I'm out of focus here. This is an inherent thing with a long lens. It has a shallow depth of field, a very shallow depth of field. If I was to walk back up this way, the same sort of thing would happen. As I'm going backwards, I'm getting softer in the shot as well. Just like when I went forward. It's more pronounced when you come close to the camera. So if you start doing close-up work with a long lens, and it's a great tool for close-up work, you've got to be very, very careful with your focusing because your depth of field is very, very shallow with a long lens.